Good evening. It's Thursday, April 2nd. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi, and we are broadcasting remotely tonight. These are indeed trying times. You need to look no further than the latest jobless figures, historic numbers causing quite a lot of pain for millions more people tonight. More on that in just a moment. But first, San Diego County officials have now confirmed another coronavirus death, bringing the total to 16. The number of cases is closing in on 1,000, currently at 966. Today, jobless claims doubled to 6.6 million nationwide. In San Diego, at least 20,000 workers are the latest to have been laid off. KPBS reporter Matt Hoffman says most are in the hospitality and food industry.
It's happening to real people. Like I was a hard-working audio engineer.
Noel Helms is a union audio engineer who did a lot of jobs at the San Diego Convention Center.
At this point, I've got no real prospects of work coming back. The convention center is now a homeless shelter.
The husband and father of two is the main earner in his family. Due to the nature of his work, he's been on unemployment in the past, but has never seen anything like this.
But I'm very concerned about what's going to happen, come May and June.
In the meantime, Helms is volunteering at local food banks, which has also helped fill his family's pantry.
I've gone to the stadium 2 Saturdays in a row. Even though I was volunteering, I definitely brought food home, and that has helped out quite a bit.
He's also trying to supplement his income.
It's quite a big hit. Like, I'm absolutely going to depend upon mortgage forbearance, and I'm going to have to find something. That's why I've been doing the pool stuff.
He's been cleaning pools for a friend, but
unemployment works for every dollar you earn, they remove a dollar from your benefit.
But just because you apply for unemployment doesn't mean you get it.
No, I haven't been my employer long enough to even receive unemployment.
Dion Winters was hired as a cook at Gossip Grill in Hillcrest just a couple of months ago.
And I'm class of 2019, and I finally can say I'm class of something.
He graduated culinary school just last year, but now finds himself jobless and unable to qualify for unemployment.
It's stressful. I live paycheck to paycheck, so all that is about to run out.
Winter says Gossip Girl has helped try to find him odd jobs and given him some food, but he still can't find other support.
I have not yet seen myself, for me, anything. I hear people saying that they've been getting help and everything, but I don't have kids. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a house. I'm 31 years old. I'm not well established like some of these people.
Winters is from San Diego and says he's worried about restaurant workers who don't have any family here to lean on.
Literally, a lot of us are affected by it. I just hope that we are able to all go back to work real soon, that everything will be back to somewhat normal, and that if not, then unemployment, these funds, whatever they have, they need to do it sooner than what they're saying that they're going to do it, because if they don't, it's going to be a lot of trouble out here, and that's what I'm afraid of.
Both Helms and Winters just desperately want to be back at work and return to some sort of normalcy soon. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
And San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer is calling on local businesses to make critical supplies to help during this pandemic.
It is more important than ever that we are using every resource available to keep San Diego safe. And so today I am calling on our San Diego manufacturing industry to help continue the fight that they're doing, to help shift their operations to support the battle against COVID-19. There are certain items.
The mayor was joined by representatives from Biocom, San Diego Workforce Partnership, and the San Diego Distillers Guild. He says local distillers are already doing their part by making hand sanitizer, and he's encouraging other companies to join in, making everything from face masks to ventilators. As the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases worldwide top 1 million, the U.S. death toll has now passed 5,000. 95% of Americans are now under stay-at-home orders. Karen Kafa has the latest from Washington.
The U.S. coronavirus death toll is now more than 5,000, each leaving many more friends and family to grieve.
And seeing what my husband had to go through was horrible.
The Trump administration has left stay-at-home orders to states, and now more than 90% of Americans face such mandates. Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced one this week. A similar order will take effect in Florida at 12:01 a.m. Friday. Cities, meanwhile, are feeling pressure as cases rise. New York City, which reported more than 4,300 new cases Thursday, is calling this upcoming Sunday a D-Day for demand for hospital supplies.
You know, Sunday's going to be a crunch day for us, and it's important that we get those masks, we get the ventilators, we get the goggles, we get the face shields.
A similar concern in Detroit.
We're working hard here, but it's a combination of government and just flat out hustling to find supplies.
Los Angeles is now recommending residents wear face coverings if they must be out and about.
These face coverings are only effective together, of course, with safe physical distancing.
In Washington, Karen Kafa, KPBS News.
You're fired. That's what the Navy told the captain of the USS Roosevelt today after he spoke out, pleading for help for his crew infected with COVID-19. 93 sailors on the San Diego-based carrier have tested positive. Sailors who tested negative are disembarking in Guam. They will be quarantined for 14 days while the ship is disinfected. About a quarter of the 4,800 crew members have been tested so far. A local Postal Service worker has tested positive for the virus. The employee works at the Rancho Bernardo Post Office Annex on Bernardo Center Drive. The USPS says the facility is being disinfected. No other information was released about the worker or their condition because of privacy laws. The CDC says it does not believe the virus can spread through the mail. Several local schools took extraordinary measures today to keep kids learning as campuses close for the remainder of the school year. Here's KPBS education reporter Joe Hong.
It's Thursday morning and Poway Unified School District staff are passing out thousands of Google Chromebooks to students who don't have computers at home. It's a scene being played out across California as districts launch online learning programs. But as districts push ahead with their plans, experts are concerned about who might fall behind without extra support. Alicia Smith-Arriaga directs EdTrust West, a nonprofit advocating for equity in education. She said there's been a lack of consistency statewide when it comes to distance learning.
And that lack of consistency, we know, often means that students of color, low-income students, and English learners are the ones who get left with resources that often just are not comparable to other students.
By law, public school students, regardless of their circumstances, are entitled to an education that is equal to their peers, even if that requires additional services. Smith and other experts say that this was a struggle even in the best of times.
School closures and COVID-19 has made it more challenging to get resources out to families where before we knew, based on our research, that it's a huge challenge.
And sooner rather than later, school districts need to start planning for the long-term impact.
They're going to need to shift really quickly to thinking about developing plans for what does it mean when school is back in session, and how do we make sure that we're assessing learning loss and how to pick up with students to ensure that we don't widen gaps that were already there.
Joe Hong, KPBS News.
And now that schools across the county are moving to virtual classrooms, students will be online more than ever. But the FBI says this makes them more vulnerable to unseen threats. The agency wants parents to be more vigilant now than ever as the potential for child exploitation grows with the increase in screen time. The FBI says online sexual exploitation comes in many forms and could begin with casual contact that increases to sexual conversations or images. The agency wants parents to be on the lookout for signs of behavioral changes in children, and these could include nightmares, anger, depression, or anxiety. And besides talking with your kids about appropriate internet activity, the FBI also advises parents to take the following steps. Review all content and apps before they are downloaded. Make sure privacy settings are set to the strictest level possible. Keep computers in a common room. Check social media profiles and explain that posted images could be online permanently. San Diego County leaders say it's still critical we all stay at home except for essential needs. Now, that order will have the weight of law enforcement behind it. KPBS reporter John Carroll explains.
At Thursday's county briefing, Sheriff Bill Gore said the county is about to get serious about enforcing public health regulations.
The maximum penalty is a $1,000 fine for violation of these public health orders, and up to 6 months in jail. The days really of voluntary compliance are over.
Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says the county is also moving in the direction of Riverside County and the city of Los Angeles. Effective midnight Friday, cloth masks, not N95 masks for medical personnel, will have to be worn by anyone working in businesses that deal with the public, like grocery stores, pharmacies, and gas stations.
This is only in addition to everything else that you are already doing. If you are staying at home, if you are leaving your house for an essential purpose only, then when you leave your house for that essential purpose, we encourage and recommend that you have a face covering.
In addition, physical distancing protocols will have to be posted by midnight Monday for all businesses that deal with the public.
Now over 1.9 million Californians alone since March 12th had filed for unemployment insurance.
For Governor Newsom, today was mainly about finances. Following the sober news on unemployment numbers, Newsom pivoted to what the state is doing. He says the Employment Development Department has added 200 extra workers to handle the onslaught of claims. Many of those claims come from Californians who work for small businesses. That's nearly half of all workers in the private sector. The governor had some good news for small business owners. Help is coming from the federal government and the state.
They can take upwards of $50,000 as a loan and not have to pay the state those sales tax receipts for 12 months. In essence, it is a bridge loan.
2 federally funded programs will also help. Small business owners can apply for a disaster injury loan of up to $2 million. They'll get $10,000 right away as their application is being processed. More federal money is available through the Paycheck Protection Program. Businesses can get up to $10 million as long as they continue to pay their employees. And as long as businesses adhere to the requirements, the money will be a grant. Only a 0.5% interest fee will be charged. Applications for that loan will start being accepted tomorrow. John Carroll, KPBS News.
An employee at the Otay Mesa Detention Center, which houses immigration and other federal detainees, has tested positive for COVID-19. KPBS reporter Max Rivlin-Nadler has the story.
On Tuesday, the company CoreCivic, which runs the Otay Mesa Detention Center, confirmed that one of its employees had tested positive for COVID-19. The company told KPBS that the employee's last shift at the facility was March 21st, and that they had no known contact with the detainee population. But immigrant advocates are alarmed at what they see as the beginning of a larger possible outbreak at a facility that they believe has not taken enough precautions to protect its detainees and staff. Andrew Nieter is an immigration attorney who works with detainees held in Otay Mesa.
It is really just a tinderbox. Once you bring one person into that facility, nobody can realistically say it's not going to spread and that people are not going to die.
Immigrant advocates have called on ICE to release as many immigration detainees as possible, to be with their families, and to have them return to court when it's safer to do so.
Now is not the time to be worried about court backlogs and quotas. Now is a time to be worried about people living and dying. That has to be the focus.
Meanwhile, immigration courts at Otay Mesa have mostly remained open during the pandemic. One group of immigration detainees at CoreCivic is currently under quarantine, according to the U.S. Marshals Service. Max Rivlin-Nadler, KPBS News.
As the coronavirus spreads, the CDC warns some populations are at higher risk of developing a more severe case. KPBS and their partner iNewsSource have built an interactive map that shows where these vulnerable groups live in San Diego County. iNewsSource reporter Brad Racino explains.
Using data from the CDC and U.S. Census Bureau, iNewsSource and KPBS have created a tool for the public to see where the highest risk populations live throughout the county. Now, according to the CDC, these groups include those 65 years and older, people suffering from chronic lung disease or moderate to severe asthma, diabetics, people with serious heart conditions or severe obesity, and those with compromised immune systems. Using the map, you'll see clusters of diabetics live in South County, which makes sense. The disease disproportionately affects minorities, and that region is home to a majority minority population. You'll also see that same area has high concentrations of people living with asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Another vulnerable group, those 65 and over. The CDC says 80% of COVID-19 deaths in the U.S. have occurred among adults in that age range.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Wilson.
I'm a registered nurse and
I recently spoke with Cheryl Wilson, CEO of St. Paul's Senior Services, a nonprofit that has operated in San Diego County for 60 years. She said St. Paul's medical staff began monitoring residents for symptoms of the disease weeks ago. They also surveyed their stock of personal protective equipment, started sanitizing at the door, and offered food delivery. But cabin fever is a problem.
The people that are getting the cabin fever more than anybody else are our memory care people because they don't understand. That has been our greatest challenge, is people who have Alzheimer's disease or other dementias and memory care problems.
During a recent news conference, San Diego County's medical director for epidemiology and immunization services said regardless of where people in these vulnerable groups live, the message is still the same. You are at risk and should take extra precautions to guard against COVID-19. For KPBS, I'm iNewsSource reporter Brad Racino.
And to explore the map yourself, go to iNewsSource.org. iNewsSource is an independently funded nonprofit partner of KPBS. And we're following all of the latest coronavirus developments for you at kpbs.org. Click on the Tracking COVID-19 link on our homepage, and you'll be taken to a page with all of our recent reports. You can find that right now at kpbs.org.
I'm Judy Woodruff. Tonight on the NewsHour, a rising death toll and a harsh financial reality. What you need to know as coronavirus lays siege to life in America. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Scientists are predicting a busy hurricane season. Forecast models created at Colorado State University indicate there could be 16 named. Of those, 8 could become hurricanes. An average season has 12 named storms. Scientists say there's a 95% chance a hurricane will make landfall in the U.S. this year. Hurricane season starts on June 1st. Oceanside is one of the only beaches still open to the public, but it wasn't too busy today. There were more birds than people along the shore this afternoon. The cloudy skies and cooler temperatures may be keeping more people indoors, and it looks like a storm is on the way. Mark Mancuso has your forecast.
Let's take a look at our weather headlines. For the next few days, our mornings will be cloudy and cool, but we'll see some sunshine and nice mild temperatures in the afternoons. Over the weekend, we're eyeing a storm system that is approaching. Looks like the main impacts will be early next week, widespread rain, and there'll be some mountain snow. And of course, the winds will pick up a little bit too. In the meantime, we've seen just the little eddy here off the coast, and that's helping to promote our clouds in the morning hours. Taking a look at our forecast for tonight, we'll start to see the clouds roll in back later at night. And you can see our temperature at Oceanside dropping into the upper 40s. And as we head on over into the mountains here, temperatures will be dropping down into the 30s. How's it look for tomorrow? Well, clouds to start, cool in the morning, and then sunshine and pleasant in the afternoon. Look at that, return to some sunshine. Temperatures warm up nice, Borrego Springs into the 80s. And then as we head our way closer to the coast, temperatures drop from 70s into the mid-60s. Now over the weekend, here it is, that storm system coming down from the north, and this will be a slow-moving storm, and it should be able to scoop up plenty of moisture too. So we're going to be looking at some rain developing here probably not until late Sunday night, and then on Monday and Tuesday, that's when we'll see most of the impacts from the rain. And we could be looking at some heavy amounts too. Mountain areas could see anywhere from 3 to 6 inches of rain, and even down closer to the coast, several inches possibility. So it looks nice here. For the beginning of the weekend, changes come early in the week as we'll see the rain come on in. As we take you inland, you can see Monday and Tuesday looking wet. And as we take you over towards the mountains and desert regions, even here too, we will be looking at changes. Snow levels probably getting down to about 5,000 feet or so. And then as we take a look at the deserts, rain comes in early next week. And for KPBS News, I'm meteorologist Mark Mancuso.
The coronavirus may be spread by more than just sneezing and coughing. The National Academy of Sciences told the White House that research shows the virus can be spread by talking and possibly even breathing. A doctor with the Academy said he was going to start wearing a mask when he goes to the grocery store. The White House's coronavirus task force is considering a recommendation that everyone do the same. Meanwhile, the Food and Drug Administration wants everyone to know there is no evidence of the virus spreading through food or packaging. Even if a person working in a food facility tested positive, the FDA says a recall wouldn't need to be an issue. While there is unprecedented demand for some items, the FDA says there's no widespread food shortage. Still, they're urging people to buy just a week or two worth of groceries at a time. After rebukes from doctors and advocates for the elderly, the California Department of Public Health walked back a blanket order earlier this week that required nursing homes to take in coronavirus patients. KPBS reporter Amita Sharma has more.
A new state order now says nursing homes can be expected to accept residents recovering from COVID-19, but that can only happen if the local health department has been consulted, if the nursing home has adequate personal protective equipment, and if it has the ability to follow federal infection prevention and control rules. Dr. Carl Steinberg is a nursing home and hospice medical director in North County.
My colleagues and I were thrilled to see last night where the California Department of Public Health decided to back off on that blanket mandate that nursing homes had to take COVID-positive patients no matter what. I think it's really a step in the right direction.
County officials have thus far reported more than 30 cases of COVID-19 in senior care facilities, which include nursing homes. Amita Sharma, KPBS News.
If you lost health coverage because of unemployment or other qualifying reasons, Covered California has expanded the special enrollment period through the 30th of June to help the uninsured. The special enrollment was put in place at the beginning of the year to help those who didn't know about tax penalties for not having health insurance or weren't aware of available assistance. Individuals can sign up at coveredca.com, and once a plan is chosen, the coverage starts on the first day of the following month. People who may have lost insurance because of unemployment won't have a gap in coverage. Imperial County reported its first coronavirus-related death today. Our partner iNewsSource reports that the resident was an elderly adult with underlying health conditions who was being treated in a San Diego hospital. So far, there are 43 confirmed cases in Imperial County, which includes El Centro, Brawley, and Calexico. Here's what Public Health Director Jeanette Angulo told KPBS about the local response.
Imperial County as a whole, we continue to work day in, day out on COVID efforts. You know, this is county departments, hospitals, law enforcement, first responders, nonprofit organizations. Imperial County, as you may know, geographically is very large, population-wise, and not so much. And our cities are spread out. So that helps, you know, during this time with COVID-19. But we also need to remember that we are bordered by Baja California, whose, you know, size probably 10 times as you know, Imperial County size. As far as, you know, social distancing, well, we do have our governor's order in place. We also have a local health officer order in place. Imperial County streets, I mean, this is what I can tell you, they're not as busy as they used to be. So to me, that's an indicator that for the most part, our community is following our stay-home order. We just need to continue to practice that social and physical distancing concept over and over again. So we keep reminding our community about that.
And for more information specific to Imperial County, go to Public Health Department's website at icphd.org. We're also including Imperial County's numbers on our COVID-19 page, and you can find that at kpbs.org. This plane isn't carrying the New England Patriots team. It's delivering N95 masks to frontline workers in Boston. Massachusetts governor ordered 1 million masks from China. The governor thanked the Patriots and team owner for their help getting the badly needed supplies. And are you ready to smile during this very troubling time? Well, this should do it. Take a look at this.
Happy birthday, Ruth!
That is 104-year-old Ruth Galavan, who came out of her Sarah Mesa home to find family, friends, and neighbors, surprising her with a happy birthday parade. You see, Ruth is also California's oldest living female Marine, who served in World War II. And based out of Miramar. And just when you think she has seen it all, comes this COVID-19 outbreak, but it isn't slowing her down. Happy birthday to Ruth. And Dolly Parton is doing her part in lifting people's spirits by reading bedtime stories.
Hello, I'm Dolly Parton, the book lady from the Imagination Library. I want you to join me April the 2nd when I start Good Night with Dolly. I'm going to be reading some stories from the Imagination Library.
So for 10 weeks, she'll be reading children's books, including her own Coat of Many Colors. And you can watch her live streams on Imagination Library's social media. We want to remind you about a partnership between KPBS and the San Diego Unified School District. It's called AtHome Learning, where children matter. Just by turning on the TV to KPBS2 or any of the channels that you see on your screen right now, students can watch PBS content that is designed by their grade level on a block schedule. Grades pre-K through 3rd grade can watch from 6 to 8 a.m. Grades 4 through 8 can watch from 8 to 1, and high school content will be broadcast from 1 to 6 p.m. And there is also an online library that can be accessed on any smartphone, tablet, or computer. You can find that at pbslearningmedia.org. An update now on our top story. Today, San Diego County confirmed another coronavirus death, bringing the total to 16. The number of cases is closing in on 1,000, currently at 966. As jobless claims double to 6.6 million nationwide, Governor Newsom announced help is on the way for small businesses across California. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us. Stay well and good night.